Omar Berrada and Dan Ashworth publicly back Ten Hag. Casemiro apparently blaming the manager and his tactics for his lack of performance against Liverpool, plus lots and lots of other updates to bring you this morning. I apologise if my voice is a little bit croaky. I will explain where I have been in a minute. But before we get into today's video, please do me one small favour. Smash a like on today's show, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and let's get straight on into it. My voice sounds absolutely mad, doesn't it? Right, let me explain a little bit of where I've been. I did tell everybody last week, I think it was on Wednesday night, before I went effectively, but I think some people must have missed the show because I had quite a lot of people tweeting me and stuff asking me if I was all right, which is really nice to see. But so outside of this, which I do as a hobby, I do as a passion project, I have my own business, and each year we do a festival, a music festival, dance music festival, which was in South Wales this year. So that happened Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That was when the event was on. But we were on site from maybe 9 a.m. on Thursday morning and only got back at about 6 p.m. yesterday. And all I'm going to say is this. The last month or so has probably been the most stressful, long, probably period of my whole life. It's been incredibly hard work. You know, you're thinking of everything from toilets to skips to food traders to, medical people to coaches of people, artists. Like, yeah, it's crazy. It's a lot of work. So yeah, I did hope or aim to try and do some videos whilst I was there, but I'm gonna be honest with you, guys, like, I probably slept about 2 hours each night, and I don't drink. I wasn't doing anything else. Like, I don't drink, I don't do anything like that. And yeah, it was just incredibly taxing and tolling, and I just didn't have the capacity to do videos as well. It was just too much. I usually sleep about 8 hours a night, right? And I was literally sleeping like 2 hours a day. I was waking up at I was going to bed at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and I was waking up at like 6 because I had to be back on site to sort stuff out. So yeah, I got back last night and I was literally I passed out at about 6 o'clock. You can tell by my voice, I'm completely gone. But it was an amazing event. Obviously, I'm back now. I do apologise. You know that this channel is just me. There's no one else. So it's not like somebody else could cover whilst I was away. Daily Red Devil is only me. I do all the graphics, I do all the videos, I do all the thumbnails. Every single thing you see or hear comes from me. So yeah, maybe in the future, maybe someone else comes on and can present whilst I was away. But at the moment, that obviously isn't really an option. So I wanted to explain where I've been. I wanted to explain that I haven't just disappeared. I appreciate all of your messages of concern and support of people asking where I was. So if anybody's asking where I am, obviously point them to the beginning of this video. And that should explain everything. But again, I apologise. I know, I had to stop right at the end of the transfer window, and lots of stuff have happened. So I know some people come to this channel for the latest news, the breaking news and stuff, but obviously I'm going to react to everything I've missed since last Thursday, effectively. All right. So I'll try and keep it up to date as well, but obviously we haven't spoke about Jadon Sancho. We haven't spoke about obviously not getting Raheem Sterling. So yeah, there's lots of news that we've kind of missed out on. So let's go through it all. Let's go back to Thursday. Let me give you my reaction to kind of everything that's happened since we last spoke on, I think it was Wednesday night we all last spoke. So nearly a week ago, which is crazy. But as people have said in the comment section, for the last year, we've literally done 3 videos a day every single day without missing a single day. So yeah, I really, really did think that I could push myself, but I couldn't. I already pushed myself too much, but I thought I was able to do videos as well as trying to run a music festival at the same time, whilst I was on site in the middle of rural Wales with no signal and all of these different, I'm not making excuses. I'm just explaining the circumstances. But let's start with Jadon Sancho then quickly. I won't spend too much time because I appreciate some people will be like, this is old news, I don't care. But, at the end of the day, the whole purpose of this channel is just to have conversation. And obviously we haven't had a conversation yet about Jadon Sancho. So if you're not interested in talking about any of that stuff, that's completely fine. But yeah, I want to talk a little bit about that because obviously we haven't spoke about it. So in relation to Jadon Sancho, I'm really happy. I think it was, as I said to you before, my number one priority was that we just sold him and got the cash immediately. Obviously that wasn't an option. My second option was that we loan him with an obligation to buy. We have managed to do that. He's gone to Chelsea. I would say I wish Jadon all the best, but I don't really, to be honest. I think, I'm just glad he's gone. I don't really have too much more to say on it. I'm very happy with the situation. I could see some people saying, it's a disgrace. We only got 25 million. Like, Jadon Sancho needed to leave Manchester United. And I think, the fact that Chelsea are going to pay all of his wages this year and then they're going to give us 25 million next summer, I'm not really too bothered, I think, because if you actually look at the deal as a whole and how transfers work, right? So we bought Jadon Sancho for £73 million. That was on over a 5-year period we were paying Dortmund, okay? We've already had 3 years. So we've already paid to this point £43.8 million towards Jadon Sancho's transfer fee, okay? And there's only about £25 million left to pay. So you can see where that figure came from. Effectively, we haven't made any money, but based on a yearly profit and loss, we've broke even. Does that make sense? It's kind of complicated to get your head around. The money that we've already given Dortmund is gone. Like, that's already been accounted for. It's already in our end of year accounts for the last 3 years. So 25 million was obviously the figure that Manchester United said. That's how much we owe Dortmund. Give us the 25 million. We'll give that to Dortmund, and then effectively they can write that transfer off. So I've got no problem with it. He obviously didn't have a future at Manchester United. We've got a dog coming up the stairs. Which dog is it? Hello? We've got a dog. Up you come. Of course. Up you come. Up. The dog's gone. You want to come up? No, I don't know what he's doing. The dog is upstairs. Quasi, come here. Come and say hello. Let me have a look at you. Oh, there we go. There we go. Here's the dog. If anybody wants to see the dog. So yeah, I'm pretty chilled about it. I think, Jadon Sancho had to move on. Going to Chelsea was probably a good move for him. 25 million. I mean, it's not loads of money, but as I said, it kind of pays off the transfer fees that we owe Dortmund to this point. Obviously, we don't have to pay his wages this summer. We get rid of a potentially toxic player who's in the dressing room. Yeah, I just think that Jadon Sancho hasn't shown us anything positive since he's been here. I don't remember any stand-up performance. Is he a talented player? Yes. I just think he has a bad attitude, a bad mentality. So yeah, I'm happy with it. But yeah, you can let me know what you think about Jadon Sancho as well. What else have we got? Fred says, cut it back until you get fully recovered. The thing is, right, obviously, the dog's gone. I didn't want to leave you guys for too long. So I think for the next kind of couple of weeks, there probably will just be a video in the morning and a video in the evening. I'm not going to be able to do 3 days, 3 videos a day at the moment. Like, I feel pretty exhausted, to be completely honest. But I didn't want to go completely AWOL on you. So, yeah, but thank you for your support. Right. What else do we have? Sorry, let me just blow my nose. Right, let's carry on. I probably won't be live for too long because, as you can kind of hear and see, I'm not in the best of ways. But in relation to the game against Liverpool on Sunday, I watched that in the office, on the site, on the festival office, where I was also trying to do 1,000,001 things at the same time. But I did watch the game. It's just difficult, to be honest, because I think the mood in the fan base in the summer was like up here, wasn't it? People were so excited. They were so positive. Great transfer window. And then you get one result like that and everything comes crashing down. And I think, I'm not trying to sit here like I told you so or anything like that. But I still think like Man United, realistically, it's like 6th to 8th is probably where Man United are going to finish. I said that after we signed Lenny Yoro. I said that, in the middle of the summer when everyone was on cloud 9, I was like, we've had some great transfers, but I think we're still so far away from everywhere else. We're still far away from the Man Cities, the Liverpools, the Arsenals. Even with, Manuel Ugarte, everyone seems to have kind of pinned everything on Manuel Ugarte. He's the missing piece of the puzzle. Once he comes in, everything's going to be great. And I don't really see it like that, to be honest. And I'm not trying to be negative. This is just my opinion. You might disagree. I just think we're 2 or 3 more transfer windows away from being in anywhere of a position to challenge, because you just look at the other teams that are around us, and, you know, Erik ten Hag is at fault for that as well. I'm not saying he's completely faultless. He is at fault, of course. You know, we have signed some bad players. We have wasted money. But what I will say is, obviously, with Omar, Berrada, Ashworth, Ineos, etc., I think the signings have been a lot better. But I don't think it's as simple as, you know, you stick Manuel Ugarte in and suddenly you are, you know, winning the league and stuff. Like, I don't see it like that, you know, personally. And I think that I'll stick with what I said in the summer when the mood was at cloud 9. I said, you know, realistically, 6th to 8th is probably realistic for Manchester United this season. And I still think that Man United are more of a cup team, a team that can get a result on their day against anybody, but can also lose to anybody on their day. You know, they're not consistent, and we've been like that for a decade. We lost 3-0 to Bournemouth last season at home, like, as an example. So yeah, I think for me personally, if we can, you know, aim to win the Europa League, I think that would be a successful season. And I think if we finish 6th to 8th in the Premier League, I think it'll be disappointing, but I don't think it's unrealistic to be finishing in the 6th to 8th position, 6th to 8th in the table. When you look at our current form and you look at our inconsistencies, the game against Liverpool, obviously Casemiro was massively at fault for 2 of the goals. Joshua Zirkzee should have scored, but that doesn't mean, you know, I'm not going to put blame on Joshua Zirkzee. We lost the game at the end of the day. Liverpool were better than us. Casemiro should have been sold in the summer. He obviously showed us glimpse in the pre-season that he might have come back into form. But yeah, I mean, when you look at our kind of recent form, it doesn't look particularly good, does it? I know obviously a lot of those are friendlies, but you look at our last 5 games. So we lose 3-0 to Liverpool in a friendly. Then we lose the Community Shield. Then we beat Fulham 1-0 with a goal in the last couple of minutes. Then we lose to Brighton. Then we lose to Liverpool. So it doesn't look particularly good so far for Erik ten Hag and for Manchester United. And I was talking to my friend about this the other day, who wasn't a Man United fan, when I was at the festival, actually. And I said, you know what? And they were like, oh, but you'll smash Southampton though, don't worry. And I was like, I'm going to be honest, like, going into the Southampton game, which is a week on Saturday, like, no one here can comfortably tell me that we're going to go and smash Southampton. I don't think so. And I think when you look at the next 3 fixtures, or even 4 fixtures, right? You've got Southampton away. Like, we could easily lose that game, easily. Like, we should win that game, but I'm not convinced we 100% will. Then you play Crystal Palace away, which is a very difficult game, and a game that Man United always struggle in. And then you've got Tottenham at home. Like, yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like a particularly good reading. Like, Man United, if they're going to get top 4, need to be beating all 3 of those teams. And I just don't see it. I don't see us, you know, putting ourselves in a position to beat Southampton or Crystal Palace. And I know people will say, oh, God. Oh. The more I'm speaking, the more I'm feeling pretty rough. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, so it's not a particularly good moment for Manchester United. I accept that. Is Erik ten Hag to blame? Of course, he has to take some of the blame, but I still just believe that it's 2 or 3 windows before you know, Ineos will really, really be able to do their work. And I know that Manchester United and football fans want results immediately, but it doesn't work like that, really, unfortunately. And I think that once you come to that realization, I think it just makes the pain a little bit easier. Like, we lose 3-0 to Liverpool, and I was like, oh, okay. Whereas before, a couple of years ago, if we lost 3-0 to Liverpool, I would have been absolutely devastated. It would have ruined my weekend. I would have been... But I'm just like, I just kind of come to expect it now. And that's not just because of Ten Hag. That was under Ollie. That was under David Moyes. It was under Van Gaal. Like, it was under all of these managers. I think Jose Mourinho was the only kind of exception where he played boring football, but he did seem to get results. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully we can kind of pull things together. Hopefully... Yeah, but at the moment, I don't have that much confidence, to be honest. I'm like, will Ten Hag be sacked before the end of the season? That's another question. Obviously, we'll talk about Omar Berrada in a minute. I'm going to be completely honest with you here, and I want people to hear what I'm saying. Do I want Erik Ten Hag to be sacked? No. Do I think he'll be sacked? I think he probably will, to be honest. Not now. Don't over... sensationalize it. He's not going to be sacked now, but when I look at the next 4 fixtures, right? Southampton away, that's not an easy game. I know people are like, oh, we should beat them 10-0 or 9-0 or whatever. You know, yeah, I get it. But every team in the Premier League thinks they can beat Manchester United at the moment, right? Southampton are at home. The crowd will be up for it. It's whether the players have the mentality to go out and get that result. Now, they should be. They're paid enough money to. They're internationals. They're on massive wages. They should comfortably be beating Southampton. But we've seen in recent years that doesn't always happen. We lost 4-0 to Brighton a couple of seasons ago away. We lost 4-0 to Crystal Palace last season away. We lost 3-0 to Bournemouth at home. Just because it's a lesser team doesn't give us this divine right that we're going to go and beat them. It used to under Sir Alex Ferguson, but it doesn't anymore. The same with Crystal Palace. Like, Crystal Palace are a good side. They've got good players, a good manager, an amazing away ground. So I look at those next 4 fixtures, right? Southampton away. Yes, we should win, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it was a draw or we lose. Crystal Palace away, I think even a draw there would be respectable. We could easily lose that game. Tottenham at home, I think Tottenham have done quite well so far. You never know. And then after that, you play Aston Villa away. So like the next 4 fixtures, you've got 3 away games in the Premier League. Southampton, Crystal Palace and Aston Villa. All 3 of them we could lose, I reckon. And Tottenham at home, again, we could easily lose that game. So the point I'm making here is, do I want Erik ten Hag to stay at the moment? Yes, of course I do, but we'll have to wait and see what happens after these next 4 results. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens after these next 4 results, to be honest, because at the moment, it looks a little bit all over the place. At the moment, it looks a little bit like all doom and gloom. But I think the one thing that, not Casemiro, the one thing that Erik ten Hag has as kind of a backup is the fact that he has just got this new contract. There isn't really a suitable replacement on the market for him. Like, if someone said to me now, right, Erik ten Hag will go and you'd bring in a world-class manager, like, I don't know, let's just say a Pep Guardiola, a Jurgen Klopp, someone of that caliber, I would do it 100%. I'm not going to lie to you. I'll be straight up with you. But the reason I've always been so supportive of Erik ten Hag and I've not been toxic about him is because I genuinely don't think there is a better option out there at the moment. That doesn't mean that a better option won't come available, though. That's the thing we have to look out for. And I think Ineos will be looking at opportunities, in the managerial market, whether that's a Nagelsmann after the World Cup, whether that's Zinedine Zidane, whether that's someone like that might come available, and maybe then Ineos's heads get turned. Because at the moment, like, people say, Ruud van Nistelrooy is going to become the manager. I mean, I just don't see it personally. And I think a lot of people are just holding on to this, this token that he is an ex-Manchester United legend. Ruud van Nistelrooy, oh yeah, great, he'll become the manager. Like, I don't buy it. And I think that that's why I've been quite patient with Ten Hag. I've been quite supportive of him because I just honestly think that at this moment in time, there isn't anybody else out there that could come in and replace him. So, Adam says, why would they change the manager now? Half of his team are his ex-players. Yeah, I mean, that's the other problem as well. They've backed him. He's pretty much assembled an Ajax past and present starting 11, plus some youth players like Rashford. So, yeah, it's a really, really difficult situation. But let's see what else people are saying in the chat. Les says, apparently Ugarte's not going to be ready to the middle of October. I mean, yeah, that kind of just says it all. Right, I think I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. I'm not feeling particularly good, to be honest. But obviously, I wanted to come back. I wanted to explain where I've been. Again, apologies for being away. But as you can see, this weekend's completely... Yeah, it's just completely taken its toll. So, thank you very much, everybody. Please do leave a like before you go. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I will be back. You'll slowly see me over the week getting back into the full swing of things. You'll slowly see it. But hopefully you guys can be patient. I appreciate everyone's annoyed at the moment. Everyone wants Man United to win and all the rest of it. So the mood is probably quite low. But let's all try and... Let's just go and get in bed. Yeah, I'm going to go and sit on the sofa with the dogs. I'm going to go and chill. But yeah, I do apologise again. But I'll be back soon. As you can see, I haven't just been hiding from you. I've not just left you. I have just been absolutely so stressed. And now I've effectively seem to be not very well. So yeah, it's all part of the working world, isn't it? But I'll speak to you all guys all soon. Thank you very much. Bye for now.